Princess Beatrice of York's shocking revelations about the premature birth of her daughter Athena, the moments of anguish experienced by the royal family, the psychological impact of this ordeal on the princess, and the lessons learned from this traumatic experience that almost turned tragic. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video if you enjoyed it, and, above all, leave us a comment to share your opinion on these exceptional revelations from the British royal family. Imagine for a moment that you're a member of the British royal family, in the global spotlight, and suddenly your life is thrown into utter anguish during what should be one of the happiest moments of your life. This is exactly what Princess Beatrice of York experienced, and today, she is finally breaking the silence on a secret that has haunted her family for months. Princess Beatrice, daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, has always been considered one of the most private members of the British royal family. Unlike her cousins William and Harry, she chose to lead a relatively private life, far from royal pomp and constant protocol obligations. Yet, behind this facade of tranquility, lurked a personal drama of rare intensity, a secret that few people truly knew. When Beatrice announced her pregnancy, euphoria was palpable within the York family. After her marriage to Edoardo Mapelli-Mazzi in 2020, an intimate ceremony made even more special by health restrictions, the arrival of a child represented the perfect culmination of their love story. The first months of pregnancy progressed normally, with the usual medical monitoring and all the attention deserved by a future mother of royal rank. However, everything changed in the 7th month of pregnancy. Suddenly, without any warning, the princess began experiencing unusual contractions. What was supposed to be a peaceful pregnancy turned into a medical nightmare. Doctors quickly realized that the baby was at risk of being born prematurely, with all the dangers that this entails for a newborn. Panic gripped the royal entourage. Beatrice's husband, Edward, found himself thrust into a whirlwind of emotions that no amount of preparation could have anticipated. Beatrice's parents, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, despite their own personal turmoil, rallied together to support their daughter through this ordeal. Even Queen Elizabeth II, no stranger to family crises, was deeply affected by the situation. The hours that followed were described by Beatrice herself as the longest of her life. Admitted to one of London's most renowned private clinics, she faced complete uncertainty about her baby's condition. Doctors tried everything possible to delay the birth, but nature had decided otherwise. Athena was finally born several weeks premature, weighing just over 2 kilograms. This weight, while within the norm for a premature baby, nevertheless caused serious concern among health professionals. The little princess had to be immediately placed in an incubator, hooked up to various medical monitoring devices that measured her every heartbeat, every breath. For Beatrice, seeing her daughter in this state was an indescribable emotional shock. She later confided that watching this fragile, vulnerable little being, connected to all those wires and machines, felt like she was living a waking nightmare. Her maternal instinct clashed with her complete helplessness in the face of a complex medical situation over which she had absolutely no control. The first few days were critical. Doctors closely monitored Athena's lung development, as the lungs are often the most fragile organs in premature babies. Each day brought its share of hopes and fears. Sometimes the news was encouraging, with signs of notable improvement. Other times, minor complications arose, plunging the entire family back into anxiety. Edoardo didn't leave the hospital for the first few weeks. He slept in an uncomfortable chair near his daughter's incubator, categorically refusing to go home until Athena's condition stabilized. This fatherly devotion deeply affected the medical team, even though they were accustomed to neonatal emergencies. The royal family organized itself to provide all possible support. Sarah Ferguson, despite her sometimes strained relationship with the royal family, was a constant presence for her daughter. She organized a rotation system so that Beatrice was never alone, understanding the crucial importance of psychological support during such an ordeal. Prince Andrew, for his part, put aside his own personal and legal problems to focus exclusively on his family. He used his contacts to ensure his granddaughter received the best possible care, calling on the most renowned specialists in the United Kingdom and even abroad for second medical opinions. The weeks passed in an atmosphere of constant tension. Every small step forward for Athena was celebrated as a major victory. The first bottle taken unassisted, the first ounces gained, the first hours spent without intensive medical supervision. All these moments that seem trivial for a full-term baby took on an extraordinary dimension in the context of a premature birth. Beatrice also had to deal with irrational but very real guilt. Like many mothers in her situation, she wondered if she had done something wrong during her pregnancy, if she could have prevented this premature birth. The hospital psychologists had to intervene to help her understand that these complications can arise for no apparent reason, even with the best possible medical care. The media impact of this situation was carefully managed by the Royal Communications Services. Unlike usual royal births, which are accompanied by official announcements and presentation photos, Athena's birth was shrouded in absolute secrecy. Only a select few people knew the full medical situation. This secrecy was motivated by several factors. First, respect for family privacy at such a delicate time. Second, the desire to protect Athena from the media projections and speculation that might have accompanied the revelation of her premature birth. Finally, Beatrice's need to navigate this ordeal without the added pressure of public scrutiny. As the weeks passed, Athena's condition gradually improved. Her vital functions stabilized, her weight steadily increased, and, most importantly, she began to display the vitality characteristic of healthy newborns. Doctors were able to gradually reduce the medical monitoring, finally allowing Beatrice to hold her daughter in her arms without technical constraints. Beatrice described the moment Athena was able to leave the hospital as a rebirth. After weeks of anguish, finally being able to bring her daughter home represented the culmination of all her hopes and prayers. However, this release also came with a newfound apprehension, taking sole responsibility for this baby who had required so much specialized care. The following months were devoted to recovery, both physical and psychological. Athena continued to develop well, gradually catching up on her growth. Regular medical checkups confirmed that the after-effects of her premature birth were minimal, if not non-existent. For Beatrice, this was confirmation that all her efforts and anxieties had ultimately resulted in the best possible outcome. This experience profoundly transformed Beatrice's outlook on motherhood. She developed a particular sensitivity to perinatal health issues and connected with several charities specializing in supporting families facing premature births. Her story has become a source of hope for many parents experiencing similar situations. Beatrice and Eduardo's relationship also grew stronger through this ordeal. Facing uncertainty and fear together, they discovered shared strengths they never suspected they possessed. This solidarity in the face of adversity created even deeper bonds in their relationship, already united by sincere love. Today, when Beatrice watches her daughter grow up normally, running, playing, and developing her unique personality, she realizes how much this difficult period is now a thing of the past. Athena has become a fulfilled, curious, and lively little girl, with no visible trace of her difficult early days. Beatrice and Eduardo's relationship also grew stronger through this ordeal. Facing uncertainty and fear together, they discovered shared strengths they never suspected they possessed. This solidarity in the face of adversity created even deeper bonds in their relationship, already united by sincere love. Today, when Beatrice watches her daughter grow up normally, running, playing, and developing her unique personality, she realizes how much this difficult period is now a thing of the past. Athena has become a fulfilled, curious, and lively little girl, with no visible trace of her difficult early days. Beatrice's decision to publicly share this experience is motivated by several factors. First, the desire to break the taboo that still too often surrounds complications during pregnancy and childbirth. Second, the desire to bring comfort to other families going through similar ordeals. Finally, gratitude to all the healthcare professionals who helped Athena overcome her initial difficulties. This revelation leads us to reflect on an often overlooked aspect of royal life. Behind the pomp and ceremony, members of the royal family experience the same joys, sorrows, and anxieties as all parents around the world. But how would you react if you learned that your own child had to be born in such emergency conditions?